Oh, well, Pez, how big is he? How big is he? And you know what? Our big bloke is better than their big bloke. They've brought a big bloke over, and look, he's a nice guy and he's a good player, but our bloke is better because he's so big and he's thick and he makes me so happy, and it's such a great time of year. It's in Melbourne. I'm seeing guys, Pez, in Fitzroy hanging out in garages and they're just having a session. And I, for one, am sick of men having fun with their friends. I'm sick of it, okay? I've got a few thoughts on that. But I tell you what, Cameron Green's had a day out and he's having his own Fitzroy garage session. He's having his own thing over there and I'm just loving it. I've got a few questions about that Fitzroy garage session, Pez. As I do often when I come into this show, I ask, where are the women? But that's neither here nor there, because Cameron Green's bringing his own fun. He's bringing the life to the party. He's bringing a bag. I think there was ketamine at that party, but he's bringing a bag of wickets here to the MCG. Typically, it was going to be Scott Boland's day. Maybe that's more of a second innings thing for the old barrel there. But Green is bringing bags to his Fitzroy garage session. Did you enjoy the Boxing Day Test match 2022?
You and I have such fucking different lives. Like that much is for sure.
But it works.
Until 10 minutes ago, I didn't know what the fuck Fitzroy Garage meant while the symphony of my 2-year-old fucking blasts through 3 closed doors and Docs is about to be called because I've got to tell a story about the cricket. But I do agree Cameron Green brought a bag today. And on that we can agree. I just kept thinking today, mate, like, obviously there's a lot of chronology to go through. You know, Cider wins the toss, bowls, people are blowing up. Then South Africa go half an hour without a wicket. We're all blowing up. Ponting saying everyone's going to bat for 50 days. Then it's 4 for at lunch. The game's over in 2 days. Then that's a disgrace as well. So there's also that to go through. But really, if we're talking about Cam Green, all I could think today is like, do you think anyone's going to start calling him CeeLo Green at any point?
Yep.
Because fucking, mate, CeeLo Green is kissed on the dick. What a week for this guy.
Yeah. He's doing fuck yous to everyone. Yeah.
3.15 in the IPL. I've heard of that competition. Fifer here today. Fifer in this Aussie attack's hard to get because a couple of blokes have a couple of poles next to their name. And Cider likes to bring himself back for the last couple as well when he hasn't had a good start to the innings. Nathan Lyon's always there and thereabouts, and obviously Scotty Boland gets the nod ahead of Hoff, who sort of graciously pulls out. A little bit to read into there as well, by the way. So to actually just have the time to get 5 wickets is a hell of a haul. Throw in that he's got the most enormous buckets you've ever seen. Throw in the fact that he's going to be our country's greatest slips fieldsman, and we haven't even seen it yet. I haven't seen him take one catch there, and I know he's going to be the best. How could you not? He's going to be the first to field at first and second simultaneously. Actually, I saw Jason Holder do that. But obviously the big chat with Cam Green is just this strange, barely concealed jealousy conversation around the money that he's made this week.
Right.
I don't think Aussies do that particularly well. Like we're a bit weird about blokes making money. You know, like it's like, gee, went for 3.15. Good Christmas for the Greens. Brother's put the order in, hasn't he? Like, I mean, who puts an order in for presents?
You put an order in for a bag, apparently.
That's right.
Yeah.
But, it's like, oh, geez, a bit of bunts, isn't it? Like, there's the big story of today still isn't that Cameron Green got 5 for. The bigger number is 3.15. That's a bigger number than 2 meters at the moment.
3.15 usurps 2. Yeah.
We've got Ricky Ponting at our live show tomorrow night, and I've already lined up. One of the questions is going to be like, you wouldn't have taken him for that at Delhi, would you? Would you? But it was his day. He got the wicket that mattered of Verena at one point when South Africa decided they could bat for a second. I thought the main story of the day was that was a disgraceful batting display from a Test nation, and I think that it reflects the systemic decline of the format. I think it's sad, to be honest. I thought some of those wickets were very sad. Were very sad.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Pezza, this is our Boxing Day. They come over here,
sorry.
and it's fucking our day.
Yeah.
This is about us. Now, okay, when you go on the internet and every single video has to be wait for the end because no one has time to wait 7 seconds unless the most amazing thing fucking fucks you in the face.
Yeah.
Unless
so you
it's
stay with
that,
a
I'm not
Fitzroy
going to
garage party or fucking whatever. The fuck that is.
I'm not going to wait for the end. Okay, so Test cricket, it doesn't make any sense. 2-day Test matches, I'm all about that. Today is about us.
Yep.
It's fucking our day. You come over here. I know you've like South Africa. You've tried your Boxing Day, your New Year's Test matches. There'd be fucking a mutiny if Australia ever went over there for your Boxing Day. No. You come to us and you play your fucking wishy-washy dog shit shots outside off stump and you nick off and we feel good about the size of the hands of our slip fielders.
Yeah.
This is our fucking day. You are just a stocking filler. That's all you are. Okay? But geez, it feels good. You know, it got green 5, lines turning him, I'm seeing names and numbers on backs of jerseys. Okay, that's.
Oh, mate, you're
I
seeing
still haven't quite adapted just yet, but
you're seeing that the greatest name on the field, WARNIE, 350. I can't remember when Australia started giving a fuck about cap numbers, but anyway, 350 is an even number. I like it. I'm seeing blokes walk out onto the field in floppy hats, like. Tough gig for Alex Carey, I would have thought, just from a keeping perspective. And Ace, I would have thought even the great man Warnie would have been like, I'm not a baggy greensman, but Kez just chuck that on just for the fucking, for my own sense of equilibrium.
I've got a spare Oakley hat in my bag. I took to Wimbledon once. If you want to wear that,
they're asking people in the crowd like, "Oh, what was it you loved about Warnie?" And one guy's like, "Oh, he just had such an ordinary physique. It made everyday blokes think they could do it." It's like, mate, ordinary physique. This is one of the strongest fucking specimens that's ever existed. Have you seen the forearms on his brother? Who can't catch, if you watch the Warren documentary, who was bullied mercilessly by his elder brother. Have you seen the rig on his son? It's fucking shot put. It's discus. The bloke chose the wrong sport, and it wasn't even Aussie rules. I mean, anyway. So there was a bit of, I don't know. I think when CA starts to like turn the greatest player's death into like a bit of a marketing gimmick, and you got nonces walking around with some floppies and zinc. I don't know. I think there's plenty of other symbols that better kind of encapsulate the spirit of Warn, and it's not fucking, it's closer to the nether regions. Anyway, R.I.P.
Everyone should have gone home and had a threesome. That's what they should have done.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's talk about the cricket, I suppose, if people want us to do that. Verena, who is having a decent tour, and that he's got 250s now of his 3 digs in the series so far. Marco Jansen gets his first Test 50. They put on 112, and it just looked like at some point that Australia was going to lose a session this summer, and then they lost all of their wickets in about the length of that Fitzroy Garrett session video. So it was, and then they came out, mate, and I thought they bowled dreadfully. Like just the radar was all over the place. I mean, Khawaja nicks off to a decent enough delivery, but and look, Nortje bowls with good energy, but he doesn't bowl to the 11th over of like I think 13 or 14 overs that they've bowled at the end here. So Nortje bowls 1 over, which I thought was weird. Rabato's line was all over the place, though gets a wicket. So he is now right in the race to get the most wickets for the calendar year, even though he's played 3 Test matches. But overall, this wasn't about the wicket. It wasn't anything else. I mean, South Africa were fucking bad. They were bad today.
Yeah.
That was a bad day.
I thought the nature of the dismissals were very much like, oh, we're cooked here, and we know we are. And then the way they bowled after that had a little bit of that about it as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, even before the collapse after the partnership, they'd done well to get themselves through the first half hour into the next hour, having only lost a wicket. And then fucking De Bruyne, I want to say De Bruyne, obviously.
Obviously,
but
Kevin.
It's
Kevin's lad.
De Bruyne is how you say it. He comes in, he's 30, he averages 19 in Test cricket, and he throws his career away with a shot. Well, he does. Like that shot at that time in that moment is like that'll sadly for him, obviously a worldie. He's played a Boxing Day Test. That's him for me. So he just starts that rot, and then Bavuma goes. I suppose it's a decent enough ball. Oh no, and before that, sorry, it's Elgar's run out. Now
Elgar's run out.
Now
yeah.
that's That's just a brilliant piece of fielding from Marnus Labuschagne. Marnus's fielding now is catapulting him into some elite levels. I don't think his movement is pleasing enough. The way the arm hinges and the leg and the hips hinge. I'm sorry. Sure, it's as effective as Ponting. It's 4 direct hits this year. Apparently, 4 direct hit run-outs in the calendar year.
Whatever
For Marnus.
that's amazing, but whatever.
Yeah, I'm like, it's not swooping the way I want to. Like, you know what I mean? If you actually rendered him in the way that they render figures in VAR to work out who's offside and who's not.
Yes.
It's not looking pleasing enough to me, so I'm not handing it to him.
Completely agree. Completely agree.
You.
I think like, because I want you to be an elite level fielder. I think you have to be lithe, like an AB de Villiers, quite
enough.
Dexterous. He's not lithe enough. But then like look at like Ponting, where it was more aggressive,
jaunty.
And so and then Simon had the sheer athleticism of all those movements. It was just like, Ponting, this guy could have played 19 different sports.
What you just said there, that's what I was going to say. To be considered a great fielder, I'm sorry, but there must be a sense that you could have made it in 19 different sports.
Yeah, that's right.
And unfortunately for Marnus, there's only one sport that he plays. You might learn, he played a bit of footy or might have played. There's no way he was just fucking tackling anybody for starters.
He might have played indoor cricket.
Yes, exactly. Some hockey or some shit. I'll even pay hockey a little bit. But
I pay hockey.
Yeah, I like this. Marnus had 2 for at lunch and doesn't even bowl in this game. And we're saying, look, the shapes are wrong.
Doesn't it's If you're my respect, some cunt off the internet.
Scott Boland got the gig. What I like about Scott Boland is every time it's the same as Marnus, but every time Boland bowls, you have to say he bowls on or around the off stump. He's there and thereabouts. Marnus, you just can't keep him out of the game. All right, we get it. I'm getting bored of Australia's success. But so they obviously lose, 3 for and fuck all, and they're 4 for at lunch, and then they bat well enough. But then Green gets the breakthrough. They lose 5 for 10, and my uncle's on text message in a thread saying he still would have batted first if he was Cummins, because they could have had 400 and it would have been game over. Because he's from Generation X and he committed himself to Cummins making a bad decision, and so I did have to ask him. I said, "Was that a bad decision at the toss?" No. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we learned, Bradman always batted first in any scenario, and this morning we learned a fair bit about the old Saddon there.
Did we with respect to Bredig, great piece. Great cricketer skews selfish.
Yeah.
Great cricketer favours individualism.
Yeah.
Great cricketer is a coat. Anyway.
Grade cricketer is a coat.
We know that. I just want to say also Mitchell Starc, good luck to his crooked Mal Meninga.
Yep. Of course.
That's all.
That's one for the Indian fans there. Yep. So then Australia come out there, 1 for 45. We were 144 behind. Warner looked good, I thought. 32 or 51. Not much else to say, I suppose. Do you want to get into hashtag ASKTGC? Keep the show moving.
Put a question out there. Keep it moving. I just wrote tall runs, tall poles, reviewing the day. Any questions? Someone's written, what's the limit of tall for safety? Like a roller coaster has a minimum height. Does safety have a maximum height?
No, it doesn't, because so many great batsmen over the course of time have all been short. So we like to attach certain features of those short men. And so, for instance, Brian Lara's eyes, Ricky Ponting's forearms, Steve Waugh's glare, the shape, the tilt of his mouth. I mean, Steve Waugh isn't necessarily short per se, but I think in this generation of, test tube athletes, your Yao Mings, your Cameron Greens, your Marco Janssens, people of that ilk. I think there is safety in some.
Hell of a
there is safety.
That's a good pickup game. Shaq keeps posting his best 5, him, Allen Iverson, MJ, who else? KD. Who's the other one? Who's that 5 anyway? And and keeps putting other oppositions up. Well, I think Yao Min, Cam Green, and Marco Jansen might be a nice little trio. Sorry, carry on.
But I was talking for my indoor soccer, my sort of five-a-side football team.
Right.
I mean, and Crouchy, of course.
Yeah.
Good touch for a big man. I think you can attach safety to people in the 2 meters, like 7-footers.
Is there a point where it's too tall?
Of course, yeah. I mean, look at Zach Crawley. Like he scored a few runs recently. He scored that great 200 against Pakistan, but it's tall and it's
Is it too tall?
Nah, it's too tall.
What about that tallest guy ever?
Peterson,
Robert, what's his name? Anyway.
Hadlow or something like that.
Yeah.
Harlow. Yeah.
Was that safety? If it's mitts,
mate, it was fucking hell of a front dog.
just got to get to it on the full, Bob. Maxwell Charles. Nah, I don't like this question. That's what I just asked. Daniel says, name a stronger, more enduring relationship than David Warner and tampering with the natural order of a cricket match. I mean, there's heaps of more stronger, enduring relationships than that. Travis Lowe writes in, 3 mil in the IPL or FIFA on day one of Boxing Day at the G. Quite a tall task, so I don't think anyone could do both. Which is safer?
What's safer?
His finances are safer with the IPL. If we're talking about security, which is a sort of a cousin of the word safety, and there'd be money in a safe.
Yes, that's true. I also really enjoy how unrelated his bowling performance today in the IPL is, and how different he's playing 2 different sports. Yeah, but can he do it on a dust bowl in Calcutta? That's what we all want to know.
Harry, would South Africa make 5th grade? Well, I mean, I don't think they would in terms of the sort of association stipulations as that what constitutes a team.
You can only have one or 2 overseas in the club at the time, so that's
I think they'd win 1st grade in Sydney, probably in the mid 2000s.
If they had a good run, run like through the finals, if some guys were missing through a wedding, then they could get themselves in a position where they could win it. Yeah.
Gus Cannon writes in, g'day Gus. Why does Mark Waugh mispronouncing very simple names make me feel so safe?
Yeah, see, that's the answer. That's a true answer of safety. Let's round out the show with that. It's not about anything that's happened today. It's about what our Boxing Day makes you feel. And if one of our greatest, most lithe, most athletic, most pure athletes come commentators, different to, of course, to a come commentator.
And a kumquat, a branded kumquat, which is what I got from my next door neighbour down the coast yesterday. You got to leave it for a couple of months. And then, branded kumquat. You can actually drink it.
Yeah, branded. Okay, you're drinking the kumquat?
Yep.
Hope you've enjoyed the day.